I've got a funny story for you. So when Johnny Sims came to an exhibition in Perth,
Mhm.
about 18 months ago, because I'm in Perth, and my partner came along to the exhibition to like say hi and support me and stuff. And he went to the toilet and he was at the urinal, and then like he just looked up and there was Johnny Sims right next to him, and he was like, "Wow."
And so, did he get pee fright? Like he was like, "Oh no, now my pee's not coming out." So-
Welcome to Swapping Secrets with OSS. My name is Jess.
and I'm Lawrence.
And if you haven't already, please don't forget to spank that subscribe button. Today's topic, we are jumping back into the New Age love. So this is part 2, guys.
Yeah, so we're going to be carrying on the discussion that we had last week or last episode about younger millennials, older Gen Zs, and the way they're rethinking, reshaping their relationships, love lives, sexuality, all of that.
Indeed. So there were some really good topics that we talked about because it was a bunch of terms that I actually wasn't aware of or had kind of got a little bit confused. So it was really nice and educational for us.
Yeah.
Definitely stuff like situationalship. That was something I learnt, which I think we got that wrong with.
No, that one was right. That one was like we just sort of worked through it. There were a couple for me that really stuck out. The one was the hard-earned price of freedom or something like that.
Yeah.
And I sort of was joking around on what that meant, but what the definition in our context is the freedom of a different relationship structure and the work that goes into that with your partner or partners, so the communication, the reassurance, and explaining all these things to allow you to live the life you want to lead in an ethical, non-monogamous sense.
What a mouthful.
I know. And the other one was the difference between relationship anarchy and non-hierarchical relationships. So relationship anarchy is
it's on the tip of your tongue. I can feel
I know,
it.
it's on the tip of my tongue.
You got it. Come on, I have full faith in you.
Is the philosophy of a non-hierarchical relationship, which is the practice of relationship anarchy. So like not having having multiple partners with no one person or persons being at the top or ranked above anyone else in that sense. That was the two standouts for me, where it's like I'd known these terms, but not really, when sometimes you just know something, but you don't actually
you don't know how to describe it properly.
It's a philosophical thing, just thinking about thinking. What does this actually mean? Because, it happens a lot sometimes. It's like, it happened when Prue asked us, like, what does consent mean? I just went...
We have actually had that question asked us quite a bit, what consent means, considering we ask our single males here at the club, what does consent mean to them? We ask some people when we've got a newbie talk on. So we've been able to curate a really nice definition for that. However, you have to come to the club because I'm not going to give it away for those single males that are listening because I will find that in every application and then we're screwed. However, I would like to introduce our little tip bit today that we are bringing along a beautiful special guest. So she is the founder of Million Billion Media, a PR and marketing company for the spicy and the sexy business people just like ourselves. She recently took on the big job of being the new CEO of the Australian Industry Choice Awards, and she's hit the ground running and is going to make this year the biggest and the best awards possible, whilst also being a full-time mum. Lovelies, I'd like to introduce you to the beautiful Lucy Banks. Hey, honey.
Hi, Jess. Thanks for having me. It is so exciting to be on here and chatting with you both. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks. Seeing as our topic is about New Age love and the different ways that it has been portrayed, I did have a question in regards to, obviously you run a beautiful media company for, media and marketing, for our content creators and those spicy people. Do you find when you get some of those content creators, they come as partnerships? Are they coming as solos? Are you seeing that type of New Age love interaction with the people that you do get on board?
If I have a pool of people from my network, from my client base, for instance, say I've got 10 people, and then I've got 10 people from my personal life, maybe people I went to school with or other school mums or things like that. It's really interesting looking at those two pools of people and seeing what their relationship dynamics are. Within the people I know in the spicy world, there's a lot of ethical non-monogamy. There's a lot of swinging. There might be one person in the relationship who's a content creator, so they're allowed to go and sleep with other people. but the other person's not. And it seems to be that there's every single relationship has its own unique set of rules, and I don't like the word rules, but boundaries. And then there's the people, I guess, in my real life who are, I'm sure there's things here and there, but to my knowledge, I don't know anyone who's in like an ethical monogamy relationship, or anything that's sort of outside of that vanilla relationship. And I just find that so fascinating. And if anything, I find that the people who are in these new age love relationships are quite often so much happier. And you look at them and you're like, oh my gosh, they're best friends, like relationship goals, because they have to have such a high level of communication to have those situations work seamlessly. Whereas, and I'm not suggesting one way or the other. If anything, I'm very for whatever makes you happy, you should be allowed to lean into that. But what people sort of have permission to lean into in 2025 is very different to what people were doing, 10, 15 years ago. So, yeah, there is a very, very strong contrast between the people that I talk to for work day in, day out compared to other people that I may know from my personal life.
I've got two things I wanted to touch on from what you just said, Lucy. One was the point about you when you're talking about the spicy people and their relationship, is that you used the word unique. Their relationship was unique, and I think that's super important in terms of people understanding that like there is no one prescribed way of doing things, and it is sort of a fight against just the cookie cutter, get married, have kids, da 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 da. So I just like it's obviously interesting, like when people say like just by happenstance it is unique. The other one was, do your vanilla friends or the people who aren't in this sort of lifestyle, one, are they aware of it? And two, if they are they curious? Have they made a conscious decision to say, look, I'm going to be monogamous and I'm happy with that? Or is it just like they're just sort of like
unaware?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's really fun when my worlds sort of collide sometimes, kind of like a Venn diagram. If I've got some of my spicy friends over for like, my birthday or something like that, and then I've also got people from my personal life, and just hearing the conversations and being like, what? So you're a sex worker and your husband's just at home with the kids. And my friends just might be like, yeah, like what's the issue? And then they're like, my spicy, and then they're like, it doesn't come from a mean point of view. It's just genuine curiosity and people wrapping their heads around that and being like, wow, like their reality is so different to what they might be used to.
Yep.
And it's always really fun for me to sort of sit back and just like watch these conversations unravel. When you're in the spicy world, as you would know, it becomes very normalized. Like I do forget sometimes that there's people out there who just are not exposed to anything like this apart from the traditional husband, wife, get married, that's it forever. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Myself, like I'm in a monogamous relationship, which always surprises people, I think, because of what I do for work. But that's what works for us, and I love it, and I don't want to change it. However, if I wanted to, then we'd have that conversation. But I think because I've been exposed to that, I know that all these other options exist. So I choose the one that works for us. Whereas other people from a more vanilla world, they don't know that there's these other options that exist because those conversations aren't open because it's not spoken about. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I, talk about a lot in terms of just the differences between these relationship styles, and just saying to people, choose whatever you want, but make it a conscious decision. Don't just sort of walk. It's, it's the whole woke versus not woke thing. It's just like, understand the reasoning behind something rather than just going, okay, just follow along. And people who ask me about like, I've got a son. Jess has got a son almost the same age. You're a mum. How are you going to talk to your children about this? I'm not going to tell them what to do one way or the other. I'm just going to say, these are the options, rather than just going, well, you get married, son, and you meet a woman and you have some kids and that's the end of your life.
Well,
I'm just going to say, you could be monogamous, you could be ethically non-monogamous, you could, and then all these things. And it's just sort of like, here's the smorgasbord of life. Pick whatever you like, as long as you're happy.
Well, we're fortunate enough, like Lucy and all of us, like we're able to educate our children, our friends. We have that beautiful outreach where we are able to help people guide their way through this journey of figuring out what life or what mode of definition works best for them, because like we learned last week, you don't have to have one set thing. Like what Lawrence and I do, we may be very similar in the way that we live our lifestyles, but we don't always define the things that we are exactly the same. So, you know, we don't have to sit with one definition and be like, this is our be all or end all. And like you said, Lucy, like if you decide to change and you want to open up your relationship, you can have that conversation. You understand it's not the end of your relationship because you want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I really like what Lawrence said before. It was something along the lines of you can make whatever decision you want, but it needs to be a conscious one. I think that that's so important. And yeah, again, with the like woke versus not woke, I would argue that there's a lot of people that will look at someone who's in the swinging lifestyle or whatever boundaries they're doing in that relationship, and they'll be like, no, that's wrong, you can't do that. Sanctity of marriage, blah blah blah. Okay, but what's better or worse? Someone who has an open and communicative relationship with their partner, everyone's on the same page, versus the husband or the wife who's doing something behind their back. They go to church on Sundays, everyone thinks they're the perfect couple, but you're doing something against them. Like I would argue that the couple that is communicating and doing the right thing by each other, that I think is more ethical.
Yeah. 100%.
And it got to this is a personal story from me where I was my first marriage where I was sort of, the relationship was ending because I wanted to continue down non-monogamy and she didn't. And part of my soul searching, to use that phrase, is almost every single couple that I knew or were friends with, or they felt comfortable enough confiding in me, almost all of them were non-monogamous. It was just that one of them was not telling the other. And so I was like, if it's like, okay, it's just so normal, but it got to a point where I'm saying it's more okay to like cheat on your wife than it is to just be openly non-monogamous. How is this okay? I don't get it. Like people will talk about it at the pub. Yeah, it's like, yeah, go, whatever. And then, So I love like the way you just put it in terms of you define your relationship. It's just like, that's the perfect monogamous person to me, is what you just said. We're monogamous. I've made that choice. I'm aware of these other things. And if I'm going to have a conversation, we can. And that's muy bueno. That's young, I think. And that's what's going on with the younger generation, is just like, we're making our conscious decision because we know what everything's out there and this is where we're going. And that's great.
I know in my line of work, like I know so many different couples who have so many different boundaries. Like I could honestly probably write a book of like 40 different types of relationships that I know within my circle. But for me and my partner, like I love being monogamous and he loves being monogamous, but we have all these people in our life that if we did want to do that, we would openly be able to have a conversation and figure out what that looked like for us. But we've consciously chosen what we want to do, and it's knowing the options and having that choice and being comfortable with that.
Awesome.
Amazing. So let's get on to a really fun topic. I know we mentioned it a little bit before when we described you as the most beautiful person in the world, but the Choice Awards. So you have taken on the big feat to rebrand it, basically, bring it back to life and make this award night pretty much a spectacular revamp into the industry. Lawrence here is going to ask you some wonderfully grilling questions. But before we get into that, did you want to describe a little bit about your journey as to getting into taking over these awards?
Yeah, absolutely. So acquiring the Choice Awards was never something that was on my radar. With my marketing and PR company, Million Billion, we were a sponsor last year. I didn't personally attend the awards. I was like super heavily pregnant. But obviously a lot of people I knew were there, and it was just such a disappointing experience. There's a lot of promises that weren't lived up to, a lot of things that were supposed to happen that didn't. And myself as a sponsor, I didn't receive the things that I signed up to receive. And I think a lot of sponsors were in the same position as well. So when the opportunity came up for Million Billion to acquire it, I honestly just grabbed it with both hands, because I was like, I know what it was like for me last year. I know this industry. I've been around for a while, And I think I know the industry in quite a lot of different verticals as well. So while it wasn't something that I really set out to do, when the opportunity landed in my lap, I was like, oh my gosh, yep, done. Made the decision on the spot. And it has been a journey already, but it's been a lot of fun. And as time goes on, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this was the perfect alignment. And I love knowing that the connections and the experience that I have with Million Billion and marketing, it just translates directly to rebranding and growing the Choice Awards. And most people have been really supportive of it. They're like, yep, I love that it's 100% female owned now. I'm from the industry. I'm not like an outsider coming in trying to profit. There's not really any profit in it at all. It's like, if I can break even this year, I'll be happy. Did not realize how expensive it all is, but that's okay. It's been a really beautiful experience just having people being like, oh my gosh, you're in charge of it now. We're back on board.
I wanted to ask, so on the topic of relationships, like just building on this and your work in Million Billion, obviously as a marketing agency, PR agency, I imagine you have like market research, or you have data on market research. So can you share any insights about like sort of the relationship trends of people who are interested in these kinds of awards, and you're also running Sxhibition as well, is that correct?
So I'm the marketing manager for Sxhibition.
Oh, okay.
Which, again, funny because it goes hand in hand. I was already brought on board to do the marketing for Sxhibition. So I don't own Sxhibition at all. I don't even have an equity share or anything like that. My company just contracted to do the marketing. And then I acquired the Choice Awards, which, again, it worked really well because we were like, great, let's put it in the same location, same weekend, and each event can kind of leverage each other. And the owner of Sxhibition has been so supportive. He's like, yep, let's do it together and make these events a joint success. So that's been great. In terms of data, I think that's a really good question. And it ties back into this conversation about new age love with the Gen Z population. We're seeing a lot of, I was having a really interesting conversation this morning with one of our beautiful nominees for the Choice Awards. And she was talking about her parents and how her parents were really religious, but they bought her first pair of stripper heels. Her dad dropped her off to her first audition. And we're seeing a lot of, for something like the Choice Awards and Sxhibition, there's this younger generation that are coming through and they're buying tickets because back, 15 years ago, you could go to a sex show with your parents, even going with your mates or your friends. It's like, how embarrassing admitting that you have a sexual appetite and that you want to go see hot girls with their boobs out. Like, oh my gosh, can't have that conversation. Whereas now it's like, hell yeah, get the girls together. We're going to Sxhibition for the weekend. Let's go to the Choice Awards afterwards. Like, it's just so much more of an open conversation. And I think all of it, it's like a big Venn diagram, how the relationships are so much more open and flexible these days, but that also translates to friendships and platonic relationships, or like with your family, like you're able to have these more not sexual conversations but more open conversations. So we're seeing that come through in terms of ticket sales. I would have thought that it would have been a lot of millennials and it's kind of like the older generation coming through, but it's the young ones that are like excited and they're buying tickets.
Yeah, right.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see because obviously I'll be there for the awards with you guys, which is very exciting. Yeah. And I will be there for the Sxhibition days as well, which is super exciting. So
speaking of buying stuff, I just wanted to talk about our sponsor for the video.
Oh yes, you want to drop it in?
We have a sponsor, Flirt Adult Stores, and you can. Are they going to be at the Sxhibition, by the way?
Yes, they will. So Flirt, I believe, has got a stall, a little booth is what you guys call it, at the Brisbane Sxhibition Awards. Yep. So that'll be really exciting. I know they've got stores up there as well. But
for our listeners, if you want to jump onto their site, flirtadultstores.com.au, and you use the coupon code SECRET15, so SECRET15, you get 15% off your order. And you can get yourself some lovely toys. Talk about it with your mum or your mates, whatever you want to do.
Well, if you're at Sxhibition with your mates, maybe go in and pick a toy yourself. I go shopping with my friends for toys. Then again, some of my friends buy a little bit more raunchier toys than I would ever imagine, which is, it's fun to see. I always say my most vanilla friend buys the most raunchiest toys, and she does. She actually ended up going in for a 24-inch octopus stick.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
You don't want to see your mum reaching for that one. That might be a bit upsetting. You're like, oh, I just don't want to think about this. Like,
Oh my
I'm happy for
God.
you, but don't show me.
Yes, that's crazy. And we should probably mention our wonderful second sponsor that we have, which is with Stigma Health. I believe, from my understanding, they're one of the sponsors for the awards as well.
So Stigma Health, we partner with Stigma Health so you can get online referrals for sexual health testing. It's really quick. It's relatively cheap, and you can multi-buy referrals. They last for 12 months. So if you are in the spice industry and the non-monogamous lifestyle and you require regular testing, great way to do it. Go to your pathology center, get your tests done, results back in a few days to your phone, and then you're good to go.
And we actually got our Mr. Lawrence over here to do one. So if you guys want to check out how to do it, we actually got him to do it on World Sex Health Day. So that was pretty fun because did you notice there was like more people inside the clinic or no, not really?
No, I didn't notice.
Bummer. Damn, I thought maybe that had like an impact to people going. All right. Well, guys, I think it's time for us just to hit the tip bit and jump straight on in. So, Lucy, bring us into just the tip.
I'm starting with a tip today. So both Flirt and Stigma Health are nominees in categories for the Adult Industry Choice Awards. So when you're voting, make sure that you put Flirt and Stigma Health in your vote because they are both amazing businesses and it would be cool to see them get up there.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be voting for them this year, which is very exciting. On talking about voting and the awards itself, do you have any hot tips for our viewers and our listeners to help sort of figure out their journey, where they want to buy their tickets, how they're going to support you guys in this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've tried to make the ticket options as suitable for different people as possible. When you buy tickets to the awards night, you actually get free entry into Sxhibition for the whole weekend. So that's something that Sxhibition are giving to us complimentary. You're not paying for it within your ticket price or anything like that. So shout out to Sxhibition for their support. We also have VIP for Sxhibition. You can also buy tickets separately for the VIP, which means you can meet Johnny Sins, which I don't know if you guys have met him before. Oh. He is such a lovely guy. Like, he's just the best. Love working with him. And you also get a gift bag, and the gift bag is worth more than the tickets itself. It's got heaps of cool stuff in there. So there's plenty of options for everyone. But buy Choice Awards ticket, get free entry into Sxhibition all weekend.
Yeah, nice.
How do you find who's more interested in meeting Johnny Sins? Like, if you had a split of, like, is it male, female, age ranges? Who's more interested in meeting Mr. Sins?
The men.
The men are more interested.
Yeah, I would have thought
Stop
so.
it.
Yeah.
It's all the men being like, my hero, can't wait to meet you. Imagine shaking this guy's hand. Like,
that's amazing. I can't wait to re-meet him again. I did meet him in the last time he was at the exhibition. So this will be interesting to do a re-meet because from memory, I think he was with like Kiara Edwards, which is one of my friends. So we were able to like just kind of walk up and be like, hi. And he's such a lovely like human. But to hear there's more of the men like rooting for him, sick.
I've got a funny story for you. So when Johnny Sins came to an exhibition in Perth 18 months ago, because I'm in Perth and my partner came along to the exhibition to like say hi and support me and stuff. And he went to the toilet and he was at the urinal. And then, like, he just looked up and there was Johnny Sins right next to him. And he was like, wow.
And so did he get pee fright? Like, he was like, oh, no, now my pee's not coming out.
But I can imagine that. And, yeah, I think they got, like, a selfie together in the toilet and stuff. But I just think that's such a funny story.
Oh, my God.
What are the dates of the awards and exhibition? Have we covered that?
No, we haven't. Throw us the dates.
It's the 28th to the 30th of November. And then the awards night is on the 30th of November. So it's on the evening concluding Sxhibition.
Yes, which is exciting. So.
And what other things are going to be going on at Sxhibition, for example?
Oh, okay. Where do I start? So we have live performances and workshops all weekend, which is so exciting. So all the performances are all a little bit different. We've got some catering for the girlies, some catering for the boys, educational workshops. We have over 150 booths and stall holders, so you can do your shopping. We have live tattooing on site.
Live tattooing, that's gonna be fun.
Which is so exciting. So you can get matching tattoos. You two together.
Yeah.
We have over 100 adult stars that are coming. So OnlyFans creators, mainstream porn stars. That will be at Sxhibition staggered over the weekend. We also have a creators lounge for OnlyFans creators to come. It's a massive area where they can just come and film content all weekend, not spicy content in case the venue's listening, but do like their TikToks, their reels, and then the public can come in and meet them and have selfies, photos on the media wall and things like that.
Amazing. And so I have a question. Where can we find these tickets? What is your link to get these tickets?
For Sxhibition, you can head to sxhibition.com, and there's no E, so it's Sxhibition. For the Adult Choice Awards, our website is adultchoiceawards.com.au, or find us on Instagram, and all the links are on there as well.
Amazing. Well, that's exciting. Well, we'll pop them also down for everyone to see as well, so we can quite easily find you guys. But I feel like we've covered all the bases for today. Thanks, Lucy, again for all your insight, especially into some of the new age love that, you know, the part that we kind of don't always get to see, the content creators and how their relationships translate with, I guess, our more monogamous couples. I think I don't have a lot of surrounding with monogamous couples, so it's quite nice to see that it's, you know, they're very different, but they're not judgmental, and it's not something that people are kind of shunning on us.
Yeah. Thanks, Lucy. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Where can we find you? Where can our listeners and viewers find you, Lucy?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Lucy Banks.
Amazing. So we'll link all of that for our beautiful listeners and video watchers.
For our listeners and viewers, what do you think of the topic and episodes? Obviously, it's still in the new format or still new for you guys. Let us know in the comments, DM us, send us a voice message on socials, and we might play it on the episode. I think we've been doing polls on Spotify as well, so if you want to jump on Spotify and let us know, like, you can just do loving it, hating it,
hopefully you're not hating it,
and leave us comments as well. It's just like, you know, I touched myself at minute 26 or whatever it is, you know, that's great. I'm to that.
And for all the socials, guys, Swapping Secrets podcast, we still have our TikTok up, we have the YouTube, and we have our Instagram, so our 3 beautiful ones. So don't forget to spank that subscribe button for YouTube, because we do want to get more of those followers and those listeners.
And we can't wait to whisper to you next time.
Whisper? Well, this is quite loud.
Thank you very much, Lucy, again for joining us. Hopefully that we can welcome you into the club sometimes, just along with our listeners and guests as well.
Sounds great.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Stay sexy, and we will see you guys soon.